Hi, my name is Kevin Casey, and I'm a professional astrologer. You can find me at Body, Mind, and Soul on our website, bodymindandsoulhouston.com.
Well, tell us a little bit of Scorpio-specific stuff. I mean, what can we expect in this year of 2012 with the Scorpio transit?
With this, with Saturn being in Scorpio, first of all, for everyone that's Scorpio, what this means is Saturn is going to be on your sun, and your sun is your vitality. Mm-hmm. It's who you are, okay? Saturn has a bad reputation in astrology, but really what he's getting you to do, Saturn is getting you to look at your reality. You can't go under it, you can't go around it, you can't go underneath it. You have to look right at it and face it. And when you do, because what Saturn wants you to do is to bring out the best in yourself. It wants you to commit to what you want to see happen in your life. So that's really what it's about.
Well, that sounds better.
And it's much better, yes, absolutely. And if you face it, so you will be in, you'll get yourself in a lot more trouble if you resist it, or if you try to step around it, or I don't want to look at this, or
but that's my nature.
What to
ignore?
To ignore.
Yeah, avoid.
To avoid. So that's what they're looking at. So sometimes Scorpios may need a little bit more rest over these next couple of years. They may feel they do. They may need a little bit more, or they may feel like, wow, I got 10 hours of sleep. Why am I tired? So it will feel a little bit heavier. But just remember, just to look at, what is it that I'm not looking at? What do I need to let go of, too, is a big thing. Because Scorpio is the sign of transformation, and it's the sign of letting go also.
So we've got an eclipse coming up. We have Saturn that just went into Scorpio. And then don't we have a Mercury retrograde coming up as well?
Well, we actually have the Mercury retrograde happens the evening of the election.
The evening, which we all know what that means.
Yes, so we could
if anyone out there has done their astrology homework, I think that we all know what's coming with this election. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be the predictor, but I think it's going to be good.
Well, yeah. Well, we've got, there's several things going on. First of all, the Mercury retrograde, and if you don't know astrology, Mercury rules communications and messages. So when it moves backward, we have sometimes
kerfluffles.
We have lots of mix-ups. We have some, so we could see maybe someone announces something, and we get a little bit of misinformation. Oh, no,
or maybe they're going to lose some of the ballots in Florida. I would be watching Florida.
Yes, I would be watching, because also Neptune, which is a very ethereal planet, is
the rose-colored glasses.
Yes, is also going to be making an aspect to Mercury. So there could be.
Tell me about that.
Yes,
I didn't know about that.
That is also so. With Neptune making an aspect to the Mercury going retrograde, we could get things with, like I said, people reporting things and then going, "Wait, we had that wrong." Okay, oops, sorry, let us backtrack.
And it might even take 30 days to do all that backtracking.
It might.
Shades of 2000.
Yes, kind of what we saw then could very easily happen. Now, also the public, too, I think, is not knowing what they want to do, still.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, are... I saw...
disillusioned,
the most fun article yesterday. It was this gentleman who writes for NBC News, and he was talking about, if you're an undecided voter, get over it. Decide, for God's sakes. Quit being, quit hogging all the attention. It's only 3 or 4% of you out there that are calling themselves undecided voters, and he says it's your responsibility to make a decision.
Yes,
act on it.
And act on it. I know I had an astrologer once said that all the undecided must be Pisces. But I don't know whether that would be
bad
true. Bad rap here. Sorry.
I don't want any letters or emails about that remark.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. And I think another thing too is not to get into, some people might be disillusioned and I'm not going to vote, or I don't want to vote. That kind of thing can come about.
Well, if it gets down to the popular vote and it gets thrown out of the Electoral College and it comes down to the popular vote, then your vote really is going to count. And
absolutely.
Do you want your candidate to lose by 1 vote?
Yeah.
That would be heartbreaking, right, Jordan?
It would be ridiculous, yes. Which would be a Neptune kind of thing.
Which would be another Neptune kind of thing. Okay, so let's change the subject.
Okay.
We're still going to stay with astrology.
Sure, absolutely.
Don't you do readings at Body, Mind, Soul?
Yes, I do readings at Body, Mind, and Soul, which is a really, really cool. If you've ever been, beautiful New Age store. A lot of people come in just to kind of chill and
They have
centered.
Events. They have music.
Yes.
They have food. I had candy corn there last week.
Yes, when we did our Halloween, it was awesome.
Oh, it's the first candy corn I've had in years, and it was worth every calorie.
Yes, and I do readings. They would do the astrology charts. I do readings there, so it's
Don't
a
you
great,
teach classes?
great story. And I teach classes too. I've got one coming up.
Tell me about it.
So on November 10th, I'm going to look at a lot of things that will make. A lot of times people think that it's too complicated to learn. So what I'm going to do on my November 10th class is show people how to glance at a chart and get information from it.
Wow.
If you know your signs, we're going to talk about your elements, the houses. I'm going to give you some very basic information where you can just pull up a chart and
just kind of basically
and just
read
kind
it.
of read, yeah, and just kind of get an idea of that person. Say, hey, you know what? Maybe I should be dating this person.
Ooh, or maybe I shouldn't.
Or maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should. Or maybe I shouldn't be. Yeah, just to be able to look at that, because you can get a lot of information, and you don't have to be psychic, and you don't have to do a lot of complicated math.
Okay, well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not like it used to be.
No.
Okay, so let's just talk about some specifics here.
Okay.
All right, so everyone knows that rose quartz is the stone of love, right?
Yes.
All right, so rose quartz is a stone of love, but not passion, just love.
Just love.
Okay.
All right.
We got to go to garnet for passion.
All right.
Yeah, it's important. But the idea is when you look at a chart and you look at a man and a woman.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're going to see if they're compatible, you don't look at the sun signs, right?
That's just part of it. I look at the sun signs. I really want to see their Mercury, the way they communicate. A lot of times Mercury is a very underestimated
You know what?
planet.
That is the smartest thing I've heard about that is very, very wise.
Yeah, and a lot of astrologers don't count in Mercury, and it's
On a love connection.
On a love connection, because they think, oh, it's just in communication. It might be, that can be make or break relationships.
You
as
know
we
what? That is the thing that breaks relationships.
It's communication.
Communication.
And I think Mercury is extremely important when we're looking at charts about how people think and how they communicate.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, and of course Venus and Mars.
What about the seventh house?
Yes, seventh house. Seventh house is of marriage. So a lot of times it will tell me what kind of person is attracted to you or you are attracted to. Okay, and the seventh. So I look at that seventh house and also fifth house of romance and eighth house of sex. We got to get that because that's Scorpio.
Goodness.
That's Pluto's house.
Goodness
Scorpio's house.
gracious. Okay, so if we're looking at Mercury for communication,
Yes.
we're looking at Venus for romantic love,
Yes, romantic love
we're looking at Mars
for passion.
for passion,
And the moon, too, for your emotions. That's very important also.
and possibly how you would commingle.
Yes,
How you like
absolutely.
to have your home.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah, how you'd like to have your home, and also how you do your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
too. Sometimes you see where people...
Extemporaneous.
Yes,
some
are
people hold
very
it
dramatic,
in,
and some people hold it in, and that causes a lot of
stress
and problems and communication.
Why is anybody ever in a relationship? Can you just tell me that one thing?
Why is
Are there good ones?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And a lot of times what it is people don't understand the other person. So when a couple comes to me and they're looking at it, they're like, oh, okay, I see, I understand how, they're just not as expressive with their emotions, or they communicate in a different way.
That must be very satisfying.
It is. And a lot of times, too, some people need more space. And so some people, oh, okay, so it's not about, it's you're wired up a certain way, you're wired up a certain way. And that's why I also believe that any signs can actually get along as long as you
There's
understand
not
one
those
another.
magic combinations.
Yeah, some will be better, and I do look at the sun signs. Some will flow better, but sometimes you need different things at different, times
of your life.
Yeah.
So if someone comes to you and they say, I've been single for this, and I just met this person, what would you look at first?
First of all, I would look at the sun sign. So I would do that, and I would also look at what's going on in that person's seventh house. And what kind of, and when you look at the seventh house, what kind of people do they have a tendency to draw in? And so when I look at the other person, even if they don't have their time of birth, they just tell me the year, even if they know that, then I can already tell you what to look for in that other person, how they may communicate, how their feelings may be. Okay, are they a person that needs a little bit more distance in a relationship?
I see.
Yeah.
Well, let's switch to career path.